Part 19. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 181. Chapter 181. Aren't you afraid of being silenced? As soon as Yan Jian saw her leaving, he snorted and turned to look at the live broadcast room. Anchor, I want to ask again, can I still find someone who truly treats me in this life? Qiaoning Xuan, of course. Just when you have nothing. As long as you have money, the girls around you will definitely like you because of your money. Yan Jian felt relieved and sent another carnival. At this time, Lu Yaoyao had already changed his clothes and came out, and said angrily, "How dare you come to stay in such a good hotel when you have no money? You are really trying to make yourself look fat. Do you want me to pay?" Yan Jianyi took out another mobile phone, pulled up the bank card balance and showed it to the girl. "Everything I just said was a lie to you. I don't need people who are with me because of money. I'm not that bad at it. Women pay for the house. I don't want you to return the gifts and clothes I took the initiative to buy you before. I consider myself unlucky if you return them to me. I will throw them away. But the jewelry I gave you, the pocket money I transferred to you every month, and the 1 million I lent to your parents to buy a house, I want you to return them all to me. If you don't return them, I will take them. I'll take the transfer records and IOU and go to court to sue you. This man has spent money on others and still wants them to pay him back. This is normal. He spent it for his wife. This person can no longer be his wife. She keeps thinking about her own money. Of course she can get it back. Yeah, I also think I should get it back. The money is not a fraction. So when I have a boyfriend, I don't dare to accept too expensive gifts, nor do I dare to ask for his money. I'm afraid that if we break up, he wants me to pay him back, but I can't afford it, and I will be embarrassed. I agree with you upstairs. When I have a boyfriend, he always treats me to a meal, and I treat him to a meal. He sends me a red envelope, and I will send a similar one. If we break up, no one owes anyone. Upstairs, don't you feel tired of playing boyfriend and girlfriend like this? I also think those men are really happy when you are playing friends like this. Sure enough, good girlfriends belong to other people. The girlfriend I made not only ate and drank from me, but also asked me to pay for her brother's living expenses. Good men also belong to other people's families. All the men I met took advantage of me when my ex-boyfriend lived together. I paid for all the expenses. He kept all his own money for his parents. He said he was saving up a betrothal gift for me, but his father bought a house in his own name. Upstairs, don't live together before you get married, really. Lu Yaoyao's face turned pale when he saw the series of numbers. You actually lied to me. Yan Jianyi said contemptuously, "I just want to try you." Lu Yaoyuan suddenly felt extremely aggrieved. If I said that I was just pretending to leave just now, would you believe it? How can she afford so much money? Even if they sell their whole family, they can't afford it? Yan Jianyi, do you think I'm a fool? Lu Yaoyao's eyes suddenly turned sharp. If you want to break up, you can, but you are not allowed to ask me for the money you spent on me before, and you have to give me a breakup fee of 5 million, otherwise I will report you for murder. She regretted it after saying this. She said it directly like this and the live broadcast room was open. How could she threaten him? Yan Jianyi's expression changed. How could she know? Did I hear that correctly? This person killed someone? Upstairs, you heard right, Lu Yaoyao said he killed someone. Oh my God, this man is still a murderer. No wonder he is so rampant. Yan Jian glanced at his phone and wanted to turn off the live broadcast. But before he could close the live broadcast, Lu Yaoyuan simply broke the pot so that she could be safe. I heard you called last time. You tricked one of your competitors into your old house, killed him and buried him in the yard. As long as this person is caught, no one will ask her for money. She is so smart. Let me go, say it directly like this, is it really okay? Lu Yao Yao, are you a fool? Aren't you afraid of being silenced? She is not stupid. She knows that Yan Jianyi is still live broadcasting and does not dare to do anything to her, so she dares to say it. But this is also dangerous, murderers can do anything. Yan Jian had a fierce look in his eyes. Just as he was about to get his phone, the hotel door was knocked again. He didn't want to pay attention, but after knocking twice, the door was opened and two policemen walked in. The police are here, and they must have arrived just in time. It must have been the anchor who called the police. Anchor, is that you? Xiaoning Xun, it's me. She won't let people kill people in her live broadcast room. She managed to raise an account with great difficulty. The anchor is so awesome. The anchor is the fortune teller, I will reward you again. I will give it too. This is the first time I have met this powerful person. The old policeman glanced at the two of them and said, I received a call saying that there is a murderer here. Who is Yan Jianyi? Lu Yao Yao immediately pointed at Yan Jianyi, that's him. I personally heard him call and say that he killed someone and hid the person in the yard of his hometown. He also let his parents watch. You send people there. If you search, you can definitely find it. The young policeman immediately stepped forward and handcuffed the man, follow us back to investigate. The old policeman also said to Lu Yao Yao, you should also go over and cooperate with the investigation. Good. Qiao Ningxun cut off the live broadcast room. Anchor, will Yan Jianyi be sentenced to death? There is still a long way to go, what will happen to her next? I also want to know. Anchor, please tell me. Qiao Ningxun, Yan Jianyi will not die. After being released from prison, he will have nothing. As for Lu Yao Yao, I can't reveal her privacy. Well, hurry up, there are still two places. Qinqinquij, fortune telling. Without waiting for Qiao Ningxun to remind, Qianqiange first brushed a carnival. Qiao Ningxun connected the line, and a middle-aged woman appeared in the camera. Hello, Qinqinquij. I guessed that this name meant a middle-aged person, and it turned out to be true. Indeed, middle-aged people nowadays like this song very much, and many people must order it when they go to KTV. Qiao Ningxun, Qianqiankge, what do you want to do? Qianqiankge, hello, Anchor, I would like to ask, can I still have biological children in this life? I have been married for many years, except for the miscarriage of a child in the year of marriage, and I have not been pregnant until now. Yes. I've had many tests this year and there's nothing wrong with me. My husband also went for a checkup, and the doctor said there was nothing wrong. Recently, my mother-in-law said that if we really can't have children, we won't have children. If we have money at home, we can hire a nanny to take care of us when we get old. If we really want it, we won't have children. Let's adopt a child, but I feel that the adopted child will not have his own relatives after all, and my husband doesn't want to adopt someone else's child. End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 182. Chapter 182. Can the anchor do this even through the network cable? Qiao Ningxun counted with his fingers and sighed, if you hadn't asked me, you would never have had your own biological child in this life, but if you ask me today, you would have one in the future. Qianqiange suddenly became excited, really? Have you figured out the problem between me and my husband? Qiao Ningxun, there is indeed nothing wrong with you and your husband's health. You can't get pregnant, and the reason is not yours. If I'm not mistaken, your current mother-in-law is not your husband's biological mother, right? She's just your husband's stepmother? Qianqiankge, Anchor, you are so awesome. She is indeed not. My mother-in-law is dead. Chiaoning Suan, your mother-in-law is very kind to you on weekdays. She cooks for you every day, right? Yes, Jian Qinquij nodded like a fool. It seemed that she was really right. Chiaoning Suan, your stepmother-in-law also has a biological son of her own, right? Qinquij, yes. Chiaoning Suan, that's why she doesn't want you to have children. Your father-in-law's family property is quite rich and the family is a multimillionaire. If you don't have biological children, then your father-in-law will give all the property in the family to your mother-in-law's biological son. Qianqianqi's face was full of disbelief. You mean, my husband and I have never been able to have children because my mother-in-law tampered with our bodies? Chiaoning Suan, it's true. You and your husband eat at least one meal at home every day. Every time you eat, your mother-in-law puts contraceptive drugs in your food. Your husband's food is also put in. He took drugs that destroyed the viability of his sperm, so you never had a child of your own. If I'm not mistaken, you had a miscarriage before because your mother-in-law used detergent on the floor when mopping the floor, so you fell down and had a miscarriage. What, are you telling the truth? A man suddenly appeared in the camera and asked in disbelief, my wife's child is gone, is it because of my stepmother's manipulation? Chiaoning Sun nodded, indeed, if you don't believe it, you can go to your stepmother. She is not in a good condition today. I can try to get her to tell the truth. Qianqianquij, husband, let's just agree. You should have heard what the anchor said when you were in bed just now. If what she said is true, my mother-in-law is really terrible. She started scheming so early. It's your father's property. My child is so pitiful. He was plotted before he even saw the world. Li Yisheng thought for a while, got up and tidied his clothes. Let's go, Jing Jing, let's go downstairs. Yu Jing Jing nodded, okay, I'll live broadcast on my phone, okay. The mother-in-law is so hateful, she wants netizens to see her true face. Li Yisheng, okay. If the stepmother is good, her reputation will certainly not be affected. But if she is really that vicious, it is her own fault. Wow, there is something good to watch today. I like to watch this kind of family ethics drama the most. Me too, I want to see what kind of heart their stepmother looks like. I have seen people who do whatever it takes to save their family property. This is the first time I have heard of such a vicious person. Father Li and Mother Li are still awake at this time. They are both watching TV in the living room and telling each other about their children's recent performance from time to time. Seeing that her eldest son and daughter-in-law had come down, Mother Li asked doubtfully, don't you want to go to bed early to prepare for pregnancy? Why are you all coming down today? Li's father also said, if you still want to have a baby, go to bed quickly. Going to bed late is not good for your health, Li Yisheng said with a very ugly face. Dad, I just found out today that Jing Jing and I have never been able to have a biological child of our own children, it's all because they were drugged. What? Li's father stood up suddenly, being drugged. How is this possible? We are all a family here, and the nannies are carefully selected. How could someone harm you? Li Yisheng is his first child and the child of his favorite ex-wife, and he still values him very much. Over the years, he has also been very worried that his eldest son has no children, but he has tried many ways for them, but to no avail. He heard that some couples were unable to have children when they were together. If you marry another person, you can have children of your own. If they don't have children in 2 years, he plans to divorce them. Mother Li also stood up in surprise, yes, we are all a family, no one will harm you. And the nannies, there is no need for them to poison you. You are usually very generous to them, and they are also very generous to you, very grateful. Li Yisheng looked at his stepmother, I didn't believe it at first, but I met a fortune teller. She tells fortunes very accurately. As long as it's what she says, it's not false. As he spoke, he said everything Chiaoning Sun said. Father Lee looked at Mother Lee in shock. You actually keep putting medicine in the food of my son and daughter-in-law. Mother Lee's face turned pale. She was about to deny it, but her words changed. I have indeed been putting drugs in their food, but what's wrong with me? I just want my biological children to inherit more of your property. Who makes you like the boss more than my second son? I'm worried that if the boss has a child, you won't give me the second son's property. Also, the boss is capable, he can build a company by his own ability and live a prosperous life. But my second son, he couldn't get into school. He went to study abroad and came back with neither a high nor a low level. Now he can only open a hot pot restaurant to make ends meet, and the business of his hot pot restaurant is not good. He will soon, it's about to close. I just love my son too much. I plan for my biological son. What's wrong with that? This man is too honest, he actually told the truth when asked. The anchor just said that she would try to get her to tell the truth. Could it be that the anchor did it? Can anchors do this even through network cables? Anchor, tell me the truth, you are not a from heaven, are you? Someone who came down to earth specifically to save people in distress? The anchor is so scary. It seems that the nanny who stole other people's children last time also suddenly told the truth. Chiaoning Xuan. Your imagination is too rich. She wishes she could become a god. Snapped. Father Lee gave Mother Lee a slap in the face without hesitation and said angrily, the second child is also my child. How can I not give him property and let him spend his life in poverty when I know that he is not as capable as the elder brother? The boss is his biological brother and has always been very kind to your son. When the second brother got into trouble when he was a child, the boss deliberately said that he did it himself and suffered a lot of punishment for your child. If he can't make any money, the boss will not pay. Does he spend money? End of this chapter. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 183. So what if I like the eldest son more? Your son has given birth to many children, but they are all illegitimate children. Why do you think they don't come to you for money? That's because I support them behind the scenes. The boss was brought up by you since childhood. He has also called you mother for more than 20 years. Do you have the heart to poison him every day? They, both of them, are not sorry for you at all. They usually give you a lot of gifts. They also take the initiative to give your son money and make suggestions for his future. How come your heart is so vicious? This was the first time Mother Lee was beaten by Father Li. She felt extremely aggrieved and wondered why she spoke her mind so honestly. If you want to beat me, just beat me to death. Anyway, I don't regret the drug. Father Lee was furious. Okay, since you don't regret it, then I will divorce you and go to the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow. You can take your biological children and daughter-in-law and get out of here. When she heard that she was getting a divorce, Mother Lee was immediately afraid. She no longer had the toughness she had before. She immediately knelt on the ground and prayed, "Husband, please don't drive me out. I have never had a job in my life. If I am kicked out, can I still survive? Do you want to watch me die?" Father Lee said coldly, "Don't think that I don't know that you have saved a lot of private money over the years. Although it is not millions, there are hundreds of thousands. Considering that you have served me for so many years, I won't let you hand it over. If you sell your brand name bags and jewelry, you can get hundreds of thousands of them. If you save millions of dollars, you can spend them sparingly, and it will be enough for your retirement. You have to divorce me tomorrow. If you don't go, I will ask the lawyer to prepare a will now. All my property after my death will be given to the boss, and I won't give a penny to your son. Mother Li was startled and lowered her head. Father Li said to his eldest son and daughter-in-law, "You go and rest first. Don't worry, I will definitely divorce her tomorrow. I will not keep such a poisonous woman around. He can drug you, and sooner or later, she will too. She would drug me for property, and I won't give her another chance." Li Yusheng and Yu Jingjing nodded at the same time and went back to their rooms with confidence. Just divorcing that poisonous woman would really give her an advantage. There is no other way. The old man still has a son with her. If he sends her to prison and leaves a criminal record or something like that, it will ruin the future of his son and grandson. Makes sense. They are also good-tempered. Even after getting married, they still live with their parents or their stepmother. If it were me, I would definitely have moved out and maybe I would have gotten pregnant. There are so many contradictions when two generations live together. That's right, my parents and I sometimes quarrel, let alone my parents-in-law, so after I got married, I have been living alone with my husband outside. I like living with my parents-in-law. I have food to eat when I get home. They never let me cook or clean. Even my children's school fees are paid for by my parents-in-law. They treat me better than my biological parents. Upstairs, you have a good fate, but not everyone has your fate. Yu Jingjing looked at the barrage, continued the live broadcast, and asked, "Anchor, if I stop taking my mother-in-law's medicine in the future, will I get pregnant again? Will the medicine cause permanent damage to my body?" "Xiaoning Sun, you can get pregnant, and your body can recover quickly. But something so unpleasant has happened to you in this family, and you will not be in a good mood in this family. So in order to get pregnant quickly, you can temporarily move in with your husband, go out and move back later when you get pregnant or give birth to a child." Yu Jingjing looked at her husband expectantly. Li Yusheng smiled and said, "Do you want to move out?" Yu Jingjing nodded, "Of course I do, but if we move out, your father will be the only one living here." "It's okay," Li Yusheng disagreed, "our family has several houses, and the other houses are not rented out. The house is always unoccupied, and it will be easily abandoned if it is left alone. I asked Dad to move with us. And recently, he has also taken a fancy to a villa. He kept saying it was good there, maybe he would sell this villa and buy that one. Will Dad agree?" "Yes, don't worry, that vicious stepmother lived here, and he must have felt uncomfortable with it." Yu Jingjing finally felt relieved and turned around to order a sports car for the live broadcast room. "Anchor, thank you very much. If I really get pregnant successfully, I will come back to reward you," Xiaoningsun said with a smile, "then I'll just wait." "Okay, I will keep my word." Yu Jingjing exited the live broadcast. Xiaoningsun continued, "Everyone, there is still one spot. Du Mumu, fortune telling. Xiaoningsun, water friends nicknamed Du Mumu, please pay. Du Mumu is my real name and also my online name." After saying that, he painted a carnival. Xiaoningsun coughed lightly, "That's it? Could his parents be fans of Du Mu? I guess so, but it may also be a coincidence. This name must have a high probability of being called upon in Chinese class. I think so too. If he learned Du Mu's poems but couldn't memorize them, he would probably be beaten by a mixed double. Du Mumu, that's enough for you. We are joking, don't be angry." "He is not angry, boys are generally not so stingy." Xiaoningsun connected to the line, and a man in his 30s appeared in the camera. "Xiaoningsun, Du Mumu, what do you want to settle?" Du Mumu sat up straight and said expectantly, "I'm not doing it for myself, I just want to ask, where is my sister?" "Xiaoningsun, do you have a photo of your sister? Show it to me." "Yes, please wait." Du Mumu immediately took the backup phone and pulled up the photo of his sister. "This is my sister, the youngest sister in my family, but this is a photo of her when she was 18 years old. She must have been, it's changed a lot, I wonder if it's useful. Jiaoningsun took a look at the photo and saw that she was a beautiful woman who could make people stunned at a glance. She counted with her fingers, her expression a little ugly. Fortunately, she was wearing a mask at this time, so no one could see her facial expressions, otherwise others would definitely speculate that she and Du Mumu's sister knew each other. It doesn't matter, I've already figured it out. Haven't Zhang Fuegui and his daughter Zhang Beirong been arrested? Didn't Zhang Beirong tell the whereabouts of the college student she abducted when she was interrogated? It has been a long time since Zhang Fuegui was arrested. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 184. That's right, the Du Mumu in front of him was the biological brother of the female college student Zhang Beirong abducted, and he was also the first person they abducted. Du Mumu said excitedly, then tell me, what is my sister's name? Why did she disappear? Where is she now? Is she still alive? Jiaoningsun, are you sure you want me to tell you? Then everyone in the live broadcast room will know. Are you not afraid of affecting your sister's reputation? Du Mumu hesitated for a moment and said seriously, it's okay. I will let her change her name or live in another place in the future. Jiaoningsun said, okay, let me get it straight. Your sister's name is Du Qingqing. After a quarrel with her family many years ago, she followed her classmates in anger and didn't tell you where she went. She has never been seen again since. Didn't go back. That's right, Anchor, you really have some skills, Du Mumu said again. You continue. The person who abducted her was caught some time ago. She is her college classmate named Zhang Beirong. It's just that after Zhang Beirong sold her, he was sold to another human trafficker. Not long after the trafficker sold her, he died in an accident, and the clues were lost. Zhang Beirong only heard that person say that her classmate gave birth to a child at a young age, but she didn't know the specific whereabouts. Zhang Beirong? I saw the police report about this human trafficker some time ago. I also saw it and heard that their whole family are human traffickers. I heard that their family is lazy and relies on human trafficking for their livelihood. Du Mumu became even more excited. Yes, that's right. Some time ago, the police contacted my family and said that the person who abducted my sister was named Zhang Beirong. They were also found. But then the person who resold my sister died and the clues were lost. I really couldn't help it. When I saw your live broadcast room on the homepage, I wanted to come over and try to see if you could find it. Jiaoningsun, I can find her and have calculated her location. She is still alive. Du Mumu said with joy on his face. Then where is she? Jiaoningsun, the village she is in is a bit troublesome. If you and your family go there, you will never come back. Even if you take the police there, it will be very difficult. The people there are all desperate people. The Anchor is right. Generally, in villages where a daughter-in-law is bought, there is more than one person buying the daughter-in-law. They will form a group. Once someone wants to find their family members, they will really take action. Yes, I saw it in the movie like this. Some family members brought the police over, and they were able to beat up the police. If there were no people left, they would just die. The so-called poor people come out of poor mountains and rivers. It's not that I'm discriminating against those people. Some people really can't make sense with them. They are uneducated and don't understand the law, so they are not afraid of heaven or earth. Yes, and many people feel that the law does not punish everyone. It becomes even more outrageous. Du Mumu looked at each barrage seriously. If I bring 200 personal bodyguards there, won't it be useless? Dear water friends. Jiaoningsun. Well, they worried about it in vain. The total number of strong laborers in those poor villages is estimated to be less than 200. No, the total population of a village is estimated to be less than 200. Xiaoningsun had heard from Zhang Fugui that the first college student Zhang Beiorong abducted had a very good family, and that if that family knew that the college student had given birth to a child after being abducted, they would definitely not let her go. It seems that that college student's family does have some strength. Xiaoningsun, if you want to go, you'd better listen to my plan. Even if there are many of you, if you go there rashly, someone will be killed. Du Mumu frowned. What good idea do you have? Xiaoningsun wrote a plan in the background and sent it to Du Mumu privately. Just do what I say and I will ensure that you succeed and you won't regret it. Otherwise, even if the person is rescued, your sister will be in trouble for the rest of her life. It won't be a good time either. Du Mumu opened the private message, took a look at it, and nodded with a complicated face. I understand, I will listen to you. Xiaoningsun, let's act now. Du Mumu, okay, I'll go right away. Xiaoningsun, dear friends, those who can stay up late and want to watch today's action can continue to watch the live broadcast after 3 hours. Those who can't stay up late can just watch the live broadcast. Go to sleep now. The college student Zhang Beiorong abducted was trafficked to a small mountain village in Nanjing. Originally, she didn't want to take care of it, but if it weren't for her, Du Mumu would have died if he went to save people tonight. In the end, these evil obstacles will be counted on her, the fortune teller, and affect her spiritual cultivation. Moreover, Du Qingqing was so pitiful that she couldn't help but feel sympathy. She has the speed magic formula. When she reaches the village, she can go back and forth in an instant and it won't take much time. What? What? Do you want to rescue people immediately? Looks like it, it is indeed a big family, the efficiency is very high. I am really looking forward to it. I want to see what a real human trafficker's village looks like. I will go to sleep for 3 hours first, set the alarm clock, and then get up and watch the live broadcast 3 hours later. This is a good idea, I decided to do it too. Me too. Xiaoningsun, the 3 quotas for today have been used up. If you want to have your fortune told, please wait until next time. We will see you in 3 hours. After saying that, she quickly downloaded the broadcast. Xiaoningsun looked at the time. It was now 11:30 in the evening. Now he was going back to Daguo village to practice. He could practice until 2:30. As long as God bless her, she will be able to unlock an immortal magic formula in 3 hours today. Thinking about it, she turned off all the lights and left the house invisibly. When we arrived at Gushigo, Xiaoha was still waiting there. Just as soon as she saw Xiaoha, she smelled the smell of blood. She turned on the flashlight of her mobile phone and examined Xiaoha carefully, and found that there was a long wound on its right hind leg, which was bleeding. Xiaoningsun's face changed, and he asked worriedly, "Why are you injured?" Xiaoha turned his head and looked at his right hind leg. "Woof. It's just a minor injury, don't worry." Xiaoningsun patted his forehead. "I'm too tired, and I asked you how you were injured." In desperation, she could only use the past decision to review Xiaoha's day today. After a while, Xiaoningsun said helplessly, "So you patrol the fields and orchards every day?" This injury was actually caused by a stone while running too fast. With that said, she took out the medicine box from the space and bandaged Xiaoha. "Xiaoha, woof. I don't want to either, but there are so many bad people now. If I don't go, there will be animals on the mountain coming down to eat." Xiaoningsun bandaged Xiaoha's legs and touched his head. "Be good, the vegetables in the fields and the fruits in the orchard are not worth anything to you. Don't work so hard in the future. When you are tired, just go home and sleep." Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 185. Xiaoha, woof. Okay, it's really verbose, I'll figure it out. Seeing it nod, Xiaoningsun didn't waste any time and continued to sit aside and practice. Of course, since she unlocked the invisibility formula, she will become invisible every time she practices with Xiaohe. Even if someone suddenly appeared in the woods, they wouldn't see anything strange about her. Today he had to do other things, so Qiaoningsun opened his eyes at 2:20. With the idea of giving it a try, she opened the book of magical formulas. Her eyes lit up when she saw the unlocked immortal spell. Great, I really unlocked another immortal spell today, and it's soaring into the clouds and mist. With the formula for speed and the formula for flying, it seems that she can go back quickly tonight. Qiaoningsun asks Xiaohe to stand at her feet and recite the formula silently. After only 5 seconds, a layer of white clouds appeared under her feet. With a thought, she and Xiaohe flew into the sky together. It was the first time for Xiaohe to fly into the sky. He was very excited and shouted happily, "Woof! Woof! Woof! So high, so fast, so cool, not bad, not bad, fly a little faster, fly a little higher." This was the first time Qiaoningsun saw Xiaohe being so noisy. He patted Xiaohe's head and said, "Be low-key. We are still invisible. If someone discovers us, it will scare people to death." Sure enough, not only people, but also small animals yearn for the vast sky. Xiaohe had no choice but to shut up. Qiaoningsun flew around Deguo village and Deguo mountain, and even flew to the ancient tomb he visited a few days ago to take a look. The place is well protected and is being developed smoothly. There are people on duty every night. After a while, she felt that time was almost up, so she stopped at the door of Lao Qiao's house and placed Xiaohe in a surveillance blind spot in the yard. Xiaohe hadn't had enough fun yet, so he held her trousers in his mouth. Qiaoningsun had no choice but to take out a roast chicken and put it in its bowl. "Here, be obedient. I'll take you to the sky to play next time. I have something else to do tonight." Xiaohe nodded excitedly when he saw the roast chicken. "Okay, go ahead and bring me one next time." Qiaoning walked through the clouds and mist and quickly went to another place called Kyojia village. Once you hear this name, you know that the majority of people in the village are named Qiu. At this time, Du Mumu had brought 200 bodyguards to the boundary of Kyojia village. Although Changsheng and Changsheng have said that, according to her plan, there is no need for so many people. But he was very cautious in everything he did in his life, so he still brought everyone here. To be on the safe side, he also called the police and brought over a dozen policemen. The old policeman asked, "Is your sister really here? Du Mumu, have you heard of that metaphysics anchor who is very popular on the internet recently?" The old policeman nodded, "I've heard of it, and it's indeed very accurate, but there are only 3 places every day, so it's not easy to get them." "That's right, it's her. She's always right. I believe her, and she will come in person." "Then why hasn't she come yet?" Du Mumu looked at his phone, feeling very uneasy. The news he knows so far is all from Changsheng Yu Changsheng Fa's private messages. He really cannot guarantee that what he said about immortality and immortality is completely true. But now that things have reached this point, he has no choice but to follow her plan. After Du Mumu thought it through, he said seriously, "Let's go, let's take action." "Old policeman, aren't you waiting for that person?" "Du Mumu, the time has come to the time we agreed on. There must be something delaying Changsheng and Changsheng. I don't want to wait anymore. If I wait for one more minute, my sister will suffer for one more minute. She has been spoiled since she was a child. Growing up, I can't even imagine how she lived in the past. Changsheng and Changsheng gave me a rough plan, and I just have to follow her plan. Okay, let's take action." Du Mumu asked the others to wait first. He took the 4 people on his side and 4 policemen to Kyojia village first. Changsheng said again that some families in the village have dogs. If there are too many people entering, all the dogs will roar. The route he took was also given by Changsheng. She said that only by following her instructions would the dogs not be disturbed. Soon, the 9 of them arrived in front of a dilapidated courtyard. Sure enough, according to the route given by Chang Sheng and Chang Sheng, they didn't even disturb a single bird. Du Mumu temporarily brought 2 policemen and his 2 bodyguards there, and asked the other 4 people to respond not far away. The yard still used an old-fashioned wooden door. Du Mumu looked inside through the gap and saw a light on inside. After a while, the sounds of men beating and scolding and women crying came from inside. "What's the use of you? You can't even take care of a child." "It's not my fault, it's your mother. She took her child to play in the yard during the day, and she didn't know how to let him go back to the house when it got hot. He was sweating all over, and if the wind blew, the child would definitely catch a cold." "You're still making excuses. It's obvious that you were wrong, but you still blame my mother." "My mother is the child's grandmother. Can she harm the child?" Following that, another woman's scream came from the room. "Ah, stop fighting, it hurts so much, it's really all your mother's fault, it's none of my business." As soon as Du Mumu heard the voice, he knew it was his sister and whispered, "It's my sister's voice. I can't hear it wrong." The old policeman said, "Are you sure?" Du Mumu nodded, "I'm sure." At this time, he was so overwhelmed by the joy of finding his sister that he didn't care about the plan of immortality and immortality, and knocked on the door directly. Chiudatu was about to continue beating the woman when he heard a knock on the door and stopped. Du Qingqing huddled in the corner with her head in her arms. When she heard the knock on the door and saw Chiudatu also opening the door, she breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at her 3 children, she stepped forward and hugged the youngest, and continued to hide in the corner, with tears streaming down her face. When will days like this end? Her children grew up in this kind of family, and their lives were considered useless. Chiudatu came to the door. He didn't open the door directly, but asked first, "Who is it? Everyone in the middle of the night is asleep." Du Mumu was about to speak when he was held down by a policeman. "He is so excited now, and his tone sounds problematic. Isn't it a bad thing?" Lu Shayu said, "We came here to play in the mountains. The car is out of gas. Rescue will not arrive until tomorrow. It is too cold in the mountains. We would like to borrow your house to rest for a night." "Rest?" Chiudatu did not doubt. "How many of you are there?" "There are 5 people. 5 is too many, my family is not big, so you should ask other families." Du Mumu made a gesture. Lu Shayu said loudly, "Other people's houses don't have lights on, and we can't disturb sleeping people. We are willing to stay out for 1001 nights, okay? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 186. 1000. Chiudatu was excited and didn't think much. He quickly opened the door and confirmed again, "Are you really willing to pay 1000 yuan for a night's stay?" Lu Shayu saw the door open and said calmly, "That's right, it's 1000. Chiudatu counted the number of people. "How come there are 6 people?" Lu Shayu smiled and said, "I just forgot to count myself." "Then you must have failed math." Chiudatu saw that they were very thinly dressed and thought that they must have nowhere to go, so he said loudly, "If you give me 10,000, then I will allow you to come in and rest." Lu Shayu glanced at Du Mumu, saw him nodding, turned around and said, "Okay." Chiao Ningxun suddenly said, "That's really great." Her mobile phone also broadcast live in a secret place. As soon as she came over, she saw that Du Mumu came over without waiting for her, so she could only follow them quickly. The anchor appeared. "Anchor is broadcasting live, isn't he afraid that someone he knows will see it and notify him?" In this kind of small mountain village, the information is not available, and the traffic is also very expensive now. People who still live here cannot possibly spend money to watch the live broadcast so late. You guys are too underestimating the host. She may have figured out that things will go smoothly tonight, so she is not afraid of live broadcasting. I see. Du Mumu took out 10,000 yuan from his bag and handed it to Chiu Datu. Fortunately, the light was dim now. If it were daytime, Chiu Datu could tell at a glance that Du Mumu's eyes looked like he wanted to kill him, and things would not have gone so smoothly. Chiu Datu took a quick look with a flashlight and felt that it didn't look fake, so he let them in and led them into a side room. This house belongs to my parents. They went to visit relatives temporarily this afternoon. They will not come back in 2 days. You guys can live here. Xiaoning Sun, thank you very much. You should go and have a rest. Chiu Data became irritated when he thought of the women and children in the house. Why don't you rest? The child is sick. He is my only son. I have to take him to see a doctor. Fortunately, he got 10,000 yuan tonight, otherwise his child would not have money for medical treatment and would have to wait to die. Xiaoningsun raised his eyebrows. I know how to treat diseases. Why don't you let me take a look? I also bring the tools to treat diseases. After speaking, she opened her backpack and took out some tools inside. Chiu Data was immediately happy, and then suddenly frowned. You have to treat my child yourself, and I won't pay for it. What a scumbag. This is what everyone thinks. Xiaoningsun sighed and said, that's all. Doctors have a parent's heart. Let me go and take a look. Chiu Data walked directly to his bedroom. Du Mumu looked at the house in front of him, feeling extremely heartbroken. This is the same as the mud house in the 1950s and 1950s on TV. His sister, who grew up in fine clothes and fine food, never touched the sun, actually gave birth to 3 children in such an old house. When Chiu Datu opened the bedroom door, Du Qingqing, who was holding the child, shook her body and did not dare to look at him. She huddled at the end of the bed. Xiaoningsun went into the house and took a look at the scene in the house. This can be said to be the simplest house she has ever seen in her life. There is no decent wardrobe or decent bed in the whole house. All the clothes are hung on the wall on handmade wooden shelves. Some of the thick winter clothes have gathered dust. The bed is also an old-fashioned wooden frame bed, which is simpler than the bed where Chiao Kongsheng and Ye Kaixiang slept in the old Chiao family. There is also a table covered with several layers of dust, with a water glass and hot water bottle on it. The ground on the ground actually has no cement at all, it is still dirt. Chiu Data became angry when he saw Du Qingqing, and said angrily, what are you still holding the child for? Can the child wake up if you hold the child? Give me the child quickly, I will find a doctor. Du Qingqing suddenly raised her head when she heard the doctor coming. If a stranger comes, she can tell her family that she is here. Seeing that Du Qingqing was stunned, Chiu Data stepped forward angrily, grabbed the child, and put it in front of Xiaoningsun. Doctor, look at it quickly. His forehead is very hot. It is estimated to be 40 degrees Celsius. Xiaoningsun deliberately glanced at the room again. The space here is really too small, there are no windows, and the air is not circulated. You should get out quickly, otherwise it will be bad for the child. Chiu Data was startled. He looked at Du Qingqing and then at Xiaoningsun. Could it be that the doctor in front of him was here to save Du Qingqing? No, Du Qingqing has been here for several years. The person who sold her here is said to be dead, and no one knows where Du Qingqing is. Okay, I'll go out and you treat him well. This loser only gave me 1 son. The other 2 are also losers. You must cure him. Okay, get out quickly. Chiu Datu had no choice but to go out and close the door. Xiaoningsun immediately started to treat the child. The reason why she asked Du Mumu not to act rashly was because of this child. If she didn't come over and the child was ill, he would probably die before he came down the mountain. Even if Du Qingqing returns home successfully, she will still be sad for a long time. Sometimes she even resents her family for why she only went to save her child when she was sick, causing her to lose her son. Chiu Datu opened the door and took a look quietly. He was relieved when he saw that the doctor was indeed treating her seriously. Suddenly he heard a noise in the yard, and he hurried to the yard. Seeing that the guests were all looking at his mother's chickens in the yard, he stepped forward with a stern face and asked, "Do you want to eat chickens?" Chiao Ningxun saw that Du Mumu and others had lured Chiu Datu away as planned. The acupuncture would take some time anyway, so he quickly took out his spare mobile phone and showed Du Qingqing the words he had already typed. Du Qingqing looked at the phone in confusion, her body froze, her eyes shining with hope, and she whispered, You really came to save me with my brother." Chiao Ningxun also whispered back, "Yeah, it depends on whether you are willing to leave. Also, you decide whether you want to leave with your children or just you. Some people who hate a man will also hate that man's children." In the previous news, many women who were trafficked from the mountains hated the men's children and left alone. There are advantages to this. If you don't have children, you can find a good man to marry and your life can start over. Du Qingqing said without thinking, "Of course I want to take my children away. My children are all like me. Moreover, this family values boys over girls. My eldest and third children are both daughters. They have not enjoyed the privileges since they were children. Fu, they are disliked by their grandparents every day. From the time they can walk, they are required to work and serve the men in the family. If they stay here, their lives will be ruined. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible." Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 187. Chiao Ningxun nodded, "Okay, I will let you leave tonight. You just have to listen to me later." Du Qingqing said worriedly, "But there are many people in the village, and I have 3 children. I am afraid that we will be caught up if we can't run away." Chiao Ningxun, "It's okay. Your brother brought hundreds of people here, and the police also came. Those people are no match. But it's still late at night, and the houses here are quite far apart, so they won't alert the people in the village. If she was alarmed, she would waste a lot of time. She would have to go to school tomorrow. She has made up her mind to be a good student who will not miss classes and be late." Du Qingqing breathed a sigh of relief, with a relaxed expression on her face. "Great, I can finally go home." Chiao Ningxun asked while operating the acupuncture needle, "Are there people who have been trafficked like you here? If there are, I can save them by the way." Du Qingqing thought for a while, if her brother didn't help, they would probably have to die of old age here. Life here is so hard, and she can feel better when she just talks to those people. The men here are all very poor. If you can't make any money, you'll take it out on your wife and children all day long. The people who were trafficked here were all beaten frequently, and like her, they all had scars all year round. Even if you are pregnant with a child from a man's family, the man will still be beaten when he is angry. Last time, a man couldn't bear the beating and wanted to run away, but his calf was broken alive. The family did not take the man for treatment, and his leg has been limping ever since. Are you going to cause trouble to save them? Will it hinder our ability to escape? No, just by the way. Okay, then save them, they are all poor people. How many people are there in total? Including me, there are 7 in total, but for some reason, their children have died, or they are all people who can give up their children, so they are not as troublesome as me. Good. Chiao Ningxun nodded and continued to treat the child. Also, those children are the blood of those criminals. If some women hate that man, they will hate that man's children. This is normal. There are not many people like Du Qingqing who are reluctant to part with the children of traffickers. 10 minutes passed, Jiao Ningxun probed the child's forehead. It's okay, the temperature has dropped. Du Qingqing also went to test the temperature and said with a look of surprise, "Thank you doctor, thank you very much." People in the live broadcast room also heard Jiao Ningxun's voice. Wow, the anchor actually has medical skills. Dante, you know? The anchor has looked for herbal medicine several times before, and she seems to prepare her own medicine when she is sick. Yes, at first she even let her dog look for herbs, and her dog was also smart. The anchor is really awesome, but it is too risky for the anchor to save other people. Yes, the anchor is too confident. Chiu Datu suddenly walked in. How is the situation? Jiao Ningxun, the child's temperature has cooled down and he will be fine. Chiu Datu breathed a sigh of relief. Jiao Ningxun suddenly took out his mobile phone and turned off the live broadcast. Dolphin Video's live broadcast software allows people in the live broadcast room to speak even if the broadcast is turned off. What happened? The anchor suddenly went offline? Did something happen? Will something happen? It's very possible. Why don't you call the police? The anchor didn't reveal the location. How can we report it? The only thing we can do now is wait. The anchor is so powerful and may even be able to cast spells, so I guess everything will be fine. That's right, let's go to bed, everyone will still go to work and school tomorrow. Jiao Ningxun said seriously, brother, have your shoulders been particularly painful in the past few years? The pain has been so painful that you can't sleep at night these days. You often have insomnia all night long. Chiu Datu was surprised when he heard this. How do you know? Jiao Ningxun, I am a doctor. I only need to take a look at your face and the way you walk to tell. Chiu Datu thought that he should not take advantage of the bastard, and asked hopefully, then can you help me cure it? Of course, Jiao Ningxun said, taking out the acupuncture needle, I'll just give you a few needles. Chiu Datu was not sleepy anymore and lay directly on the bed. Come on, I can't wait any longer. Jiao Ningxun gave Du Qingqing a look, and Du Qingqing immediately got out of bed with her child in her arms. Be patient, it will hurt a little at first. Chiu Datu was relieved when he saw that Du Qingqing had not gone out, and sneered, I am a man, there is no way I am afraid of pain. Jiao Ningxun didn't say anything, and quickly inserted a few needles into Chiu Datu's body, and then withdrew the acupuncture needle. Try to move. Chiu Datu didn't suspect anything. He really moved, but he couldn't feel the existence of his hands and feet. Chiu Datu said angrily, what did you do to me? Jiao Ningxun, I just asked you not to move for the time being. As she spoke, she picked up the only water glass in the room and threw it outside. The people outside heard the signal and rushed over together with the people in the other room. Du Mumu said loudly, Sister, I'm here. When Du Qingqing saw Du Mumu, she burst into tears and rushed over quickly, Brother, you are finally here. Du Mumu felt very distressed when he saw his sister, who was only in her 20s, looking like a 40-year-old woman. He stepped forward and hugged her. Qingqing, don't worry, brother is here, and you will never see her again. Sorry, you will go home with your brother today. Okay, I listen to you, but I have to take my child back with me. Du Mumu glanced at the children who were already asleep. Although he hated their father in his heart, he could only accept his sister's request, and his sister's blood was flowing in the child's body. Okay, I promise you. Other people brought by Du Mumu immediately went out with their children in their arms. Seeing that Du Qingqing was about to leave, Chiu Datu said angrily, Damn mother-in-law, you are my wife. If you dare to leave, I will not let you go. My son, you must stay with me. And you guys, you actually came here to find this bitch, I shouldn't have let you in, I'm going to call the police and accuse you of kidnapping my wife and put you all in jail. Du Mumu mocked, you are indeed an idiot who doesn't understand the law. This time, we came with the police. Do you know what kidnapping is? Did I do anything to my sister? She still came with me voluntarily. It's useless even if you sue. Du Ching stepped forward with a cold face and slapped him hard several times. You don't know my identity. My company is one of the top 500 in the world. Even in China, it is a reputable company. My brother can kill you with just a flick of his finger. You won't let me go, I won't let you go. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 188. Don't think that I don't know how your first two wives died. They were beaten to death by you. I have enough evidence to send you, no, your whole family to prison. I will let you live forever. There's no way to turn over. Chiu Data's expression changed. You, how do you know so many things? A Fortune 500 company? When Du Ching first came to his house, she was used to acting like a eldest lady, but she didn't expect that she really was a eldest lady. Didn't the trafficker say that Du Ching was just an ordinary college student? Otherwise he wouldn't dare to buy her back. Du Ching said coldly, if you don't want others to know, you have to do nothing yourself, and you're doomed. No, you can't do this to me, Chiu Data said anxiously, I am the father of your child, you can't do this to me. When they grow up and know that their father was harmed by you, they will hate you. Du Ching smiled proudly, originally I didn't want to tell you the secret, but we probably won't have the chance to meet in the future, so I'll tell you. These 3 children are not yours, they are mine and other people's. Du Mumu was immediately delighted. Aren't his nieces and nephews the children of human traffickers? Xiao Ningxun raised her eyebrows. Doesn't Du Ching look like a person? Bitch, Chiu Data breathed quickly, how could they not be my children? You just said that because you wanted to deliberately anger me before leaving, right? Du Ching smiled and said, no, what I said is true. You should have discovered by now that none of these 3 children look like you. Chiu Data was so angry that his face turned red. He couldn't think clearly and fainted. Xiao Ningxun, okay, let's go. Du Mumu greeted the bodyguards he brought with him, hugged the 3 children, and quickly left Chiu Data's house. The group quickly met up with the others, and Xiao Ningxun also told Du Mumu that his sister wanted to save the others. Du Mumu had no choice but to listen to his sister and asked her to draw the residences of the 7 people. Du Ching has been drawing since she was in elementary school. It is easy to draw a map and she can quickly draw it on paper. Du Mumu handed the drawings to the bodyguard, my sister and I will leave first. You will handle the matter of rescuing those women. I will first let 100 people personally protect us and leave. After we get to a safe place, I will let those women go come here and cooperate with you. The bodyguard nodded and put away the drawings. Du Mumu looked at his sister, there are more than a dozen police officers here, plus my bodyguards, so rescuing those people shouldn't be a problem. I'm rescuing you tonight just because I don't want you to get hurt, and also to save your son who is seriously ill. As for others, we can only take the simplest and violent method, and someone will inevitably be injured by then. Du Ching nodded, I understand, brother. Xiao Ningxun said, you go back first, I will leave later, I can go back by myself. Du Mumu thought that she was so capable, so he didn't force her. When she goes on air next time, he will thank her properly again. Du Ching got into the car with her 3 children, and then she felt really relaxed and cried, brother, I am finally out of the sea of suffering. Du Mumu patted his sister on the shoulder and said, I know you are a smart person and must be waiting for us to save you, so I never gave up on you. But you just said that Chiu Data killed 2 women. What was his reason? Kill them? Tell me more so I can tell the police. Seeing that the children were sleeping soundly, Du Ching said slowly, I heard before that those two were also bought by Chiudatu. The first one had not given birth to a child for 3 years after he bought it. Chiudatu was very angry. Then the first time he drank too much and beat someone to death. The second one got pregnant half a year after I bought her. But once Chiudatu got angry outside, he took it out on the woman when he came home and kicked her on purpose. The woman fainted on the spot. Chiudatu was so stingy that he was not willing to spend money to treat her. He just carried her to bed, thinking that she would be fine when she woke up, but he didn't expect Chiudatu to wake up the next day. That woman's body was cold, and she was dead. Dumumu frowned and said, Chiudatu is such a scumbag. He actually has 3 lives in his hands. Yes, Du Ching Ching said, you have taught me since I was a child that no matter what the circumstances, I must live strong, keep the green hills, and not be afraid of running out of firewood. Therefore, I usually follow Chiudatu, and I can survive until now. Dumumu comforted her and said, Ching Ching, let the past go. You are only in your 20s and you can start over again in the future. Du Ching Ching nodded, well, I'm just worried that my parents won't accept my 3 children. Dumumu, don't worry, as long as it's your child, they will love it no matter who their father is. Du Ching Ching, then I'll be relieved. After the convoy left, Xiaoningsun also left the village and returned to her home in the city. As for the actions of the bodyguards and policemen after dawn, she roughly knew the outcome. There were many police officers here, and with the help of Dumumu's bodyguards, it was very easy to rescue the 7 people. Although they encountered resistance, the people were finally rescued successfully and would later return to their parents and relatives. As for Chiudatu, when the police arrived, he was still unable to move, and his parents had not returned home. According to the clues given by Du Ching Ching, they dug up 2 female corpses. After waking up Chiudatu, they arrested him directly. The police continued to guard Chiudatu's house, waiting for his parents to come back, and then arrested him together. Even if they did not help with the murder, it is still a serious crime to cover the murderer or help hide the body. Later, the trafficked women provided clues to the traffickers, and several more traffickers were arrested one after another, but this is a story for another day. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the first thing Xiaoningsun did when he woke up was live broadcast. She suddenly went off the air yesterday. Although she had her own reasons, she was indeed too reckless. Sure enough, as soon as they entered, the people in the live broadcast room were filled with resentment. Didn't you say that the whole process was broadcast live? The anchor is lying. Could it be that it was not successful and the anchor was afraid of affecting his reputation? How is it possible? The anchor is so accurate in fortune-telling and would not do this. She must have her own reasons for going off the air suddenly. Anchor, as compensation, if you tell fortunes for 4 people today, then we can forgive you. That's right, there's one more to count today. Dumumu also entered the live broadcast room immediately and suddenly sent a message, don't doubt the anchor, my sister was indeed successfully rescued and is now in a safe place. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Ching Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 189. Chapter 189. The graves are all overgrown now, right? Great, the righteous Lord came out to speak, it should be true. Those who question the anchor, apologize to me. That is, some things are other people's private matters after all, and it is normal for others not to want to broadcast them live. Apologize, apologize. Anchor, I'm sorry. Xiaoningsun, okay, you don't need to apologize. Although I didn't want to reveal the privacy of customers when I went offline suddenly, I did something wrong. I went online this morning just to say I'm sorry to everyone. Suddenly, Xiaoningsun's live broadcast room suddenly became colorful. Du Mumu suddenly kept giving gifts. After his reward reached the maximum limit, several other accounts continued to reward him. It is estimated that it should be someone under his command, giving the reward on his behalf. Xiaoningsun and everyone in the live broadcast room stared blankly. The special effects lasted for several minutes. Some people's mobile phones even crashed. Du Mumu, Anchor, thank you so much. Yesterday was a special situation and I didn't have the time to thank you, so today I'm sending you 50 carnivals to express my gratitude. I'll go, 50, that's too arrogant. In other words, all the accounts that were rewarded just now belong to him. There are too many local tyrants. Today I saw the world. Xiaoningsun is a person who has made millions in a day after all. He was stunned for a while and then came back to his senses. Du Mumu, thank you. If you have anything to ask, just ask. Du Mumu, sure enough, nothing can be hidden from the anchor. I have already sent a private message with my question. I sent you a private message. I really want to know what he asked. Understand, everyone has the right to privacy. Makes sense. Xiaoningsun went to the private message interface and took a look, only to see it read, Anchor, no matter how I ask, my sister won't tell me who the biological father of the child is. Can you tell me? Also, I want to know who I am. Will my sister's future life be smooth or have twists and turns? And what will be the future of the 3 children? These were supposed to arrive yesterday. Xiaoningsun quickly replied, the father of those 3 children is indeed the same person. That person went to collect mountain goods for some reasons a few years ago and met your sister. In order to get revenge on Qiu Datu, your sister also wanted that man to save her, so she had a physical relationship with that man. After that, the man came over several times, and your sister found opportunities to get close to him. It's just that that person is timid and only said to let your sister wait for a few years until he has more money, then he will rescue her. When he finally made up his mind to save your sister, he unexpectedly encountered an accident. The brakes failed while he was driving, and the car fell off a cliff, causing a crash and death. As for your sister's future life, even if the 3 children are not Qiu Datu's, she will still think of her miserable life when she sees the children. Therefore, her relationship with several children will be estranged in the future, but she still loves them. However, children are considered filial and will understand their mother's feelings when they grow up. As for those 3 children, they will indeed receive a lot of looks from the Du family. But your Du family did not treat them badly, allowing them to successfully complete their studies and get good jobs. Your sister will meet someone who is good to her again in the future. He knows your sister's past and doesn't care at all. On the contrary, he cherishes her even more. Du Mumu felt relieved when he heard this. Thank you, Anchor. If anything happens in the future, even if you look for me online, my account is being watched 24 hours a day and I will try my best to help. Xiaoningsun, okay. Xiaoningsun returned to the live broadcast room. It was already 6:10, everyone, it is indeed my fault that the broadcast was suddenly suspended yesterday. Let's do this. There is still some time today. I will give you a free quota. I will give you a free spot later. After I start, I will tell the person who has a 100-year-old life in the host's family first, but the host will go out at 7 o'clock. If the show is not over by 7 o'clock, I will continue the fortune telling in the evening. The live broadcast room suddenly became excited. Great, I just wanted to do the math, but I'm short of money. The early bird catches the worm, and those who get up early can get free fortune telling. Anchor, let's get started. Xiaoningsun, fortune telling. Many people began to use the words the anchor's family may live 100 years. Xiaoningsun, my friend named Qing Qing Zijin, congratulations, You got a spot. Ching Ching Zijin immediately applied for a connection. After Qiaoningsun agreed, a woman about 40 years old appeared in the camera. Ching Ching Zijin, hello, anchor. Hello, Qiaoningsun said, what do you want to do? Ching Ching Zijin walked to the bed with his mobile phone, and a boy with his eyes closed appeared in the camera. The child's face was pale, and one could tell at a glance that his condition was serious. Could this person want the anchor to save her child? The anchor is a fortune teller, not a doctor. This is not certain. The anchor has also collected medicine before, and he is probably also good at medical skills. But across the network cable, the anchor cannot treat her child. Why do I feel so familiar with this person? By the way, isn't she a very popular movie star this year? I also went to see her in Running to Mercury, which made my whole family cry. I also remembered, isn't she Lu Lingxiu? I heard that her son had a car accident some time ago. Later, there were many rumors on the internet. Some said that her son died, some said that her son became a vegetative state, and some said that Lu Lingxiu could not bear the death of her child and had followed her went. I have also heard that there are rumors that Lu Lingxiu is quitting the entertainment industry to help her disabled son with his rehabilitation, whatever. It turns out that the child is still alive. Lu Lingxiu put down her career and has been taking care of the child. Lu Lingxiu, don't guess, I am indeed Lu Lingxiu. My child was born when I was 32 years old, so I cherish him very much. It's just that his life was not good. 5 months ago, he gave birth to a baby after a serious illness. He never woke up and remained in a coma. During these days, my father and I took the child everywhere to seek medical treatment, but I accidentally entered the live broadcast room of the anchor, and her fortune telling was so accurate. So I just want to ask the anchor, is it possible for my child to wake up? Qiaoningsun looked at the child on the bed and thought of her back then. If it weren't for God's blessing, her grave would be covered with grass now. The fairy magic can be used to cast spells on the people over there through the screen. Qiaoningsun was in the dark and transferred the spiritual power to the child. While passing the message, she said, he can wake up. Do you have an acupuncture needle in your hand? I am here to direct and you will administer the acupuncture. If everything goes well, he will be able to wake up later. End of this chapter. Back before I became a vegetative state, I became an immortal and invincible. Author, Qing Jue Chen Chen. Chapter 190. Lu Lingxiu said excitedly, yes, I was born in a medical family, and I also studied medicine, but I went to the entertainment industry not long after studying, so I am not very proficient and only know the basics. Wait, there is a pharmacy nearby. I let people buy acupuncture needles. She still remembered what the anchor said, she only had 1 hour. Qiaoningsun, okay. The anchor really needs to treat his illness remotely. It seems so. I have a hunch that the anchor can really save the child. The anchor is so kind. Others only asked if the child might wake up, but she actually wanted to save the child. The anchor is kind-hearted and she is also a woman. She must understand the mood of a mother and sympathize with her. After a while, Lu Lingxiu held the acupuncture needle in her hand. Qiaoningsun asked, do you still remember the acupuncture points and so on? Lu Lingxiu fixed the phone beside the hospital bed and nodded, okay. Qiaoningsun, okay, you do as I say, first, and then. 20 minutes later, Qiaoningsun said, take off all the needles. Lu Lingxiu obediently did as she was told. Qiaoningsun, just wait for 2 minutes, he's going to wake up. Lu Lingxiu and everyone in the live broadcast room were shocked. Qiaoningsun's sunspot suddenly became excited, and she was about to overturn. They have been waiting in the live broadcast room for so long, and finally they have waited for the opportunity. Anchor, you are too mysterious. Others haven't woken up after several months of treatment. How could you wake up after a few injections? That's right, you are just a fortune teller, not a doctor. It's too crazy to say that. If the child does not wake up, and if the condition under your command becomes more serious, you are a murderer and will go to jail. The anchor really loves to express himself too much. It's not enough to make money by telling fortunes, but he also broadcasts live broadcasts to treat people's illnesses. Now that he's better, he finally overturned. Hey, what are you talking about? If you want to know if the anchor is a liar, can't you just wait 2 minutes? That's right, you are too impatient to step on the anchors now. They also say that anchors love to express themselves too much, don't you do the same? Hey guys, I think you are colleagues of the anchor. Seeing that the anchor is so accurate in telling fortunes and can even cure diseases now, you are afraid that the anchor will steal your job, so you are worried. Just wait, the anchor will smash your faces into pieces later. However, the anchor showed off his talents today, and it is a pity that he did not receive any money. It's a pity, if the child really wakes up, we can give the anchor a gift. Lu Lingxiu doesn't really believe in immortality, but this is the only way she can do it now. 2 minutes later, Lu Lingxiu saw the child's hand move, and immediately stood up excitedly. Child, are you really awake? As soon as she finished speaking, the child really opened his eyes. Seeing his mother beside him, he said in a hoarse voice, Mom. Lu Lingxiu burst into tears immediately. My child, you are really awake. It's really great. The live broadcast room suddenly exploded. Oh my God, that child is really awake. Could this be directed and acted by the anchor again? It's unbelievable to be able to save people from a distance. How could this be self-directed and self-acted? Lu Lingxiu's story made the news at first, and later paparazzi photographed her frequently appearing in large hospitals. I have watched every live broadcast of the anchor. From the first glance, she looks like an ordinary person. How could she possibly convince a big star and her children to cooperate with her in cheating? That is, a child is a mother's life. The child is really sick, and the anchor is really capable. Today I have refreshed my knowledge. Can fortune tellers cure diseases and save lives? The anchor is really amazing. The anchor's merits are immeasurable. For a time, everyone in the live broadcast room admired Jiao Ningxun's words. There are many people who feel that Jiao Ningxun has suffered a great loss because he did not charge any fees today, so they take the initiative to give gifts. Jiao Ningxun, thank you everyone. Lu Lingxiu, I still have something to do, the broadcast will be broadcast soon, you'd better go to the hospital again and let the doctor check the child again. Lu Lingxiu immediately came back from her joy, took her mobile phone and gave many gifts. Anchor, thank you very much, will my child grow up safely in the future? Jiao Ningxun was very happy when he saw so many gifts. After this, he will be successful in the future, and he will marry a wife and have children like a normal person. Although there will be hardships waiting for him, his life will be fine. Lu Lingxiu suddenly breathed a sigh of relief, played another carnival, said a few words of thanks, quickly logged off, and hurried to find a doctor. Jiao Ningxun glanced at the time. It was exactly 7 o'clock. Okay, there are no more places in the morning. We'll see you in the evening. Anchor, goodbye. Goodbye. See you next time. Jiao Ningxun counted today's gifts and smiled with satisfaction. As a star, Lu Lingxiu is naturally not short of money. Her rewards plus the gifts from other water friends and the gifts from Du Mumu, apart from the share, she actually made millions this morning. Not bad. Seeing that it was getting late, she left home with her school bag on her back and ran to school. After Lu Lingxiu was broadcast, she immediately went to see a doctor. Dr. Yan heard that the child who had been in a coma for several months actually woke up, and quickly went over to check. Looking over, I saw that the children were actually sitting up on their own. Dr. Yan was shocked. Is this simply a miracle? After saying that, he quickly checked the child. After a while, Dr. Yan congratulated and said, Ms. Lu, your child is fine. You just need to rest more in the future. Lu Lingxiu suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. Dr. Yan asked again, when did your child wake up? What did you do before he woke up? Lu Lingxiu then told her story about looking for immortals and fortune-telling. That's it? The anchor was really awesome. She ordered me to take the injection for 20 minutes. She said that my child would wake up after 2 minutes. Sure enough, the child woke up 2 minutes later, and I was shocked. No, the entire live broadcast room was shocked. What? A fortune teller, Dr. Yan said in surprise. A fortune teller can actually save people's lives? And isn't fortune telling a lie? It's not a lie, Lu Lingxiu said. I have been observing that anchor for a long time. She is really good. During the time I followed her, she helped dozens of people, all kinds of people. There is no way she is acting. I was desperate, so I thought of her. I didn't expect that she could help with the treatment. It was so amazing, it felt like it descended from the world.